10 minutes ago, we've got very sad news about singer Eddie Levert. Shocking news not for fans. Levert was born in Bessemer, Alabama, but was raised in Canton, Ohio, where he moved at the age of 6. He attended church regularly and eventually joined the church choir. As Levert continued singing into his teenage years, he became a recognized voice in the church choir, sang in school plays, and performed regularly on a gospel radio show. While at high school, he teamed up with classmates Walter Williams, William Powell, Bobby Massey, and Bill Iles to form a group called the Triumphs. The Triumphs played locally in Canton, opening for different acts, playing sock hops. They traveled to Cincinnati to Canvas King Records, whose president Sid Nathan changed their name to the Mascots and signed them to his label. The Mascots' popularity grew as their music was broadcast on Cleveland radio stations. In 1969, the O'Jays signed with Philadelphia International Records, where they began to release records under the new label. The O'Jays later signed with EMI Manhattan Records, and Levert and Williams began co-writing and producing their own tracks. Their EMI debut album, Let Me Touch You, went to number 3 R&B and included Lovin' You, which became a number 1 R&B hit in the summer of 1987. In 1984, Levert's two sons Gerald and Sean, both still in high school, announced that they wanted to follow their father's musical background. They met Mark Gordon recording under the group name Levert. 4 of their 7 albums went platinum. In 1992, Eddie and son Gerald recorded Baby Hold On to Me, which was a no. 1 R&B hit and reached no. 37 pop on the charts. In 2006, upon returning from a South African tour with sons Gerald and Sean, Eddie's son Gerald died due to interactions between his prescribed medications. In 2007, Eddie and son Gerald's album, recorded in 2006, Something to Talk About, was released, followed by the publication of the book, I Got Your Back, co-authored by Eddie and son Gerald. In 2008, Eddie's son Sean died as a result of being denied needed prescription medication by government officials in Ohio. Later in 2008, Eddie and his late son Gerald were presented with Best Duo or Group Image Award. In 2009, the O'Jays were awarded Beat's Lifetime Achievement Award, and Eddie Levert was awarded the Heroes and Legends Pacesetter Award. On January 29, 2011, the O'Jays received the Trumpet Lifetime Achievement Award. Throughout Eddie Levert's career, the O'Jays have released 10 gold albums, with 9 eventually going platinum and 10 no. 1 hits. Levert is still performing and touring with the O'Jays, well as performing as a solo artist. The renowned O'Jays vocalist understands what it's like to be overcome by tragedy. Although he has achieved success in his own right, he has also faced difficult times in his personal life. Gerald, Eddie's first son, passed away in November 2006. The young singer, who was barely 40 years old, passed away from an unintentional overdose of prescription and over-the-counter medications. The legend plunged himself into work to get over Gerald's passing. Unfortunately, tragedy struck once more when Sean went unexpectedly just 1 year and 4 months later. Eddie's buddy and fellow O'Jays co-founder Walter Williams recalled, "It completely wrecked him." While in police detention for failing to pay child support, Sean experienced withdrawal from his anti-anxiety medication, Xanax, and eventually passed away. Eddie cherished his boys dearly, and he openly acknowledged that losing them was difficult. In fact, he wanted to take responsibility for his boys' deaths after they went away, because he felt there were some things he might have prevented them from experiencing as children. He stated, "I felt like there were some things I could have shielded them from seeing that I did in my life as a father," the author said. He said in the interview, becoming upset, "But I can't linger on it. I genuinely miss them. Just difficult. Yet since it really occurred, I can't focus on the fact that it wasn't meant to be this way." Eddie explained that now that the boys are no longer with him, he takes comfort in God's power and the musical memories he shared with them. One of the nicest things he's ever done in his life, in his memory, was performing on stage with his boys. Eddie acknowledges that although his boys are no longer with him, they continue to serve as his motivation for every performance. A number of Gerald's unfinished projects, including the Grammy Award-winning album, In My Songs, and other duets they co-wrote, were released by Eddie after Gerald passed away. Eddie and his former wife, Martha, had 2 late boys together. It was confirmed that she passed away in January 2020. On social media, her granddaughter Carlesia shared her admiration for the late grandmother and verified the information. Eddie once called her a wonderful woman who dealt with a version of him who didn't know who he was or what he should have been doing, while her late son Gerald reportedly referred to her as an angel. Ryan is the name of the singer's daughter with current wife Raquel, whom he has been married to since 2005. Gerald has 3 children named Carlesia, Cameron, and Lamika, while Scene had 4 children named Chad, Sharon, Brandon, and Brioni. Thanks for watching my video.